So today is December the 20th, 2021. And the dream this morning I woke up today and it was about 6:35, but I'm placing that my wake up was more like 6:33 because I laid there a bit. The dream, I'm in this huge, like mansion style, beautiful building, a beautiful house. And it appears to be people throughout the house. I don't know if it was a gathering or whatever, but they were people with money. All these people had money, so they were dressed not as far as like when you have the celebrities in the award shows, but their clothing, their dress was a step up under that. It wasn't no everyday casual dressing, and it didn't even have the look like the people really dress up. The higher administrative staff, they always have this fancy dressing. It was between that and like award show dressing, so it was a higher standard of dressing. I knew they all had money. And so I'm walking in the building. I'm walking in the front room, and I'm in this room, but I'm looking to the left through the doorway, a wide doorway through another room. And they're making a doorway. And I know in the apartment building I'm in now, they're making doorways on the outside so I can see how that's in the dream. So they're making the doorway, and the lady, it's all the casing on the regular door is framed white, right? And so when I'm just walking in the room this way, and I look over there, and when she got to the door that the guy is fixing, she had to go through it like this. And so she comes out and she says, "You have to make it bigger." She says she tells the, and I wanted to laugh in the dream, but I didn't. But I know I wanted to laugh in the dream. I have that now because I'm like, who's going to do that? And so um, I didn't already pass that doorway. It's right there, but I'm still walking, and I hear, "Cut the door." So right after that, my hand is at because ahead of me is there are huge rooms going into other rooms, and you have the case, right, doorway without a door. Well, my hand is up there, and I start cutting from the top all the way down to the bottom of the door. And the piece that I had in my hand, the top, is I'm holding a piece of wood. It's thin, and then it gets, and I'm like, oh no, I'm standing there. I'm like, this is not right. This is crooked. But then I look at the doorway, and it's all just beautiful. It's pure, pure, pure white, and it's got the design, the frame. The doorway is, you seen them. How is that word? Elaborate. I don't know how to say words, and the structure of you get down to the end of it, everything is pure white and it's beautiful, right? And I'm holding this wood, but that it looks like, if you look at this is some I didn't it's just not right. Okay, I didn't mess it up. But when I look at the frame, right, of the door, the casing of the doorway, there is no imperfection in it. It's beautiful. But I'm so busy looking at this part. This is the part that I'm looking at because I did that, but it's not right. This is not right. I'm looking at my hand, but when I look at it, it's immaculate. Everything is, the doorway looks nice. And I felt bad because I heard "cut the door." How, for all I know, that probably was over there, them talking. I don't know where that voice come from. And so this guy comes, and I tell him, and his name was Victor. He's like one of the workers of the building. And so I'm telling him that I'm on the staircase. There's a staircase too, right by and he come by and is just worrying me that I didn't mess up the doorway, the entry, the door. And I'm telling him I cut the thing and it was crooked. And he goes over there and he looks at me like, You know, it looks nice. Everything I'm looking at it does. Everything is beautiful. It looks nice. And so the big lady, because I was going up the stairwell, the big lady, and I mean, like you could tell this was her big mansion house, was coming down the stairs. And I wanted to report because what I did, in case someone finds something wrong with it, I'm being honest. I'm telling you the truth. I damaged it. And so I'm trying to tell her this, and I'm calling her name, and she calls me by name. She said, "What is it?" You know, and so the lady, and she said it in a nice tone, but as before I can say it, another lady comes down and approaches her. She's all dressed up nice because she's going to the airport to catch a flight, and she tells her right when I'm going to talk to her, she comes up to her and she's like, "I'm going to the airport to catch a flight." And she says, "I had a dream last night." She said that I dreamed the airplane went off the runway. And she says, well, she's telling her, well, she hopes the flight goes through and she goes, bombing off. And I look at the lady and I'm like, well, it shouldn't be a problem. She said in the dream, the airplane went off the runway. So, she should be okay. Even if that happens, she should be okay. I know you can still get hurt, when they do that, but I feel like I can survive. I have a better chance to survive if it run off the runway than if it comes out the air. So then we finna talk about, and this other lady looks like it's either like a best friend, not a right hand man, but like a best friend that's looking out for her friend because she feels like she's being pulled here, there, everywhere. And she just grabs her and looks at me. No, no, we're gonna go. I'm gonna take you because, and then she takes off, and I'm standing there in the dream, and I'm like, why can't I get anyone to listen to me? I'm trying to confess that I may have damaged the doorway. Although the doorway is pure white, it's immaculate, it's beautiful. I don't see where I heard it anywhere. And I woke up. And so I wasn't going to share this dream. I was going to keep it to myself. And I've been pondering on it. I hadn't had breakfast, I had my coffee, and I wasn't going to do it, and I got my little regular shirt on after this. And I was like, let me throw the sweater on. Let me just go ahead and just make the dream video. What I come up with is, again, I don't know what cut the door was. I just assumed it was those people over there, and then when I woke up, it's like that voice could have been anything because as soon as it said cut the door, my hand was up there and I was cutting down. And I remember telling Victor in there that I went mental or something. I was trying to explain why I did that. I was like, I know they're over there working and I must have went mental. And I don't know how I did it because I was trying to apologize. It was beautiful work. It was immaculate. I know the doorway entry on one side was like this portion on that side, on the left side, but the one I worked on was double that. The wall, when it was just beautiful and decorated. So when I woke up, what I come up with, I think it's us. And I don't think I have an issue with this. That's why I'm sharing the dream because I don't have an issue with this, but someone else out there may have an issue with it. We compare ourselves to the work that other people are doing. And you just don't think that what you're doing is good enough. You think that what you're doing for the Lord it's not up to par. And it's not true. It's not true. We're all called at different levels, and it could even be in different places in our lives. Early on you're doing this for the Lord, and it may even be a quiet place. It may be a place of rest, and then you're doing something else. Or you may not, the world view by status. The world has a status, right? Uh, a leveling plane that they like to compare and they lift up and they have down. But what I'm saying is, I believe the dream is pointing to the Lord is not like that. The kingdom of God is not like that. We're all called to do this, that, and whatnot. And we should not compare ourselves to others, whatever it is that they're doing. And when others try to put that on you, don't you take it. Because I have heard, especially one person, I've heard it in a few of this person's video where they will say, I'm out in the streets and I'm doing this, right? I'm preaching, I'm doing this, I'm, blah, 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 blah. What are you doing? Are you out there doing, well, you know what? I may not be called to be out there doing that. This person over here was not called to be out there doing that. We all have our own calling. You may be in the house, don't go out and all you do is pray. That's what you do. You may go be able to at least you don't work, but you go to the grocery stores and you're smiling at people, you're giving compliments, you're encouraging. Somebody may stop and be worried and you're listening. Then this is what you do. But I think that the dream is to give attention to the kingdom work as a whole. No one has the whole. All of our part is in the whole from the time of Christ all the way to now. We're just continuing in the whole. And so I know I'm not the greatest of words and I apologize. I just want to be obedient and get this out. Have a great day and take care of yourself. Bye bye.